If we have a hard time seeing the particles, we can even add a light to simulate a little more indirect shadow. So I'll come in, or shade, I'll come in and add a point light to this scene. And I'm just going to pull the point light back a little bit. Actually, I'll just adjust it in this view here. Maybe like so. And if I draw a render region now, you can start to see the shape a little clearer. So the problem here is that it's very bright, but we're actually getting the volume renderer at about the right cell size. If we go any lower, the lower the cell size, generally the more detail your cloud will have, but of course at the expense of a longer render time. So if you kind of lower it enough, you're going to get a pretty expensive render. So any size below 1, and of course we don't work. So if I start bringing it up a little bit, I can find the smallest cell size possible and make that distinction. Of course, one of the other things that you can do as well is you can set the cell size interpolation to none and start to see the individual cells that make up the volume cloud. So if I say something like 10, we can start to see the individual cells themselves. So if I increase that a little bit more, we get a very blocky looking cell. So this isn't really describing the accuracy of the volume cloud very well at all. So a high cell size will render very quickly, as you notice, but doesn't quite give us the control we need. So lowering our cell size will take a lot longer, but in the end will give us more control. So I'm willing to compromise with a low cell size for now, and I'll just set the interpolation back to linear for the moment. Another thing you can do is enable the shadow table to allow for fast previewing. Again, I'm just dealing with final gathering, so I'm always dealing with pre-computed samples, so that's going to slow me down anyways. But in the end, you just have to make sure that you turn the shadow table off so that what you see in the region is the same as what you see in the render. That's always something that kind of gets me. In any event, this still doesn't look like a cloud. We're actually starting to get the volumetric effect, but the color is a bit of a problem. So let's address the color next.